Hi there, how are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. It's my hope and trust that you're doing well wherever you are. Today, I want to make a video about coming abroad when you're young. And when I say young, I mean between 18 and 22 or even up to 24. We can go all the way to 24 because I know there's a great number of youth who get sent abroad to study by their parents, and there are others who just find opportunities to come abroad. Okay, so I want to address those people because that is a vulnerable generation, especially when you're moving abroad, and a lot of care, a lot of planning, and information is needed for these people to succeed. And guess what? We want these people to succeed. I want these people to succeed. Okay, so as you know, not everybody who comes abroad has that luxury of having a friend or family here. There's a lot of youth who come here with their parents, you know, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, but then there's a great majority who have nobody, okay? And they come here, they don't have anybody who can hold their hands. Those are the people that I want to address in this video. So a lot of kids, and I'm going to call them kids because come on, they're 18, who get sent, they get shipped abroad. And you know, parents are happy, you know, you do a party, you know, you call everybody, you pray for them, and a lot of them do get sent abroad right after high school to join university or college with no life experience. All they get is a prayer and faith that these people are going to make it through. So the good thing about coming here when you're young, when you're coming to study, a lot of them actually do make it and they become very successful. A lot of them, and I didn't say all of them, I said a lot of them do succeed. However, there is a small percentage of them who really struggle and they do not make it. And we're going to see the reasons as to why they don't make it, or the kind of struggles that youth do face in a few minutes. Okay, all right, before we get there, I just want to say that coming abroad when you're young, there's a big advantage of coming here when you're young, right after high school, and you're going to have skipped the Canadian high school system. The Canadian high school system is no joke. Ask me. My children are in high school and it's very challenging. And because it's some kind of a cumulative program, so you're going to find that what they, you know, if you come in the middle of high school, you're not going to catch up because it's been a cumulative program from grade 10 to 11 to 12, right? So joining in the middle is usually a challenge. So that's why it's nice, it's good, it's advisable to join after high school. Then you can just come with your high school results and join university or join college. Okay, so they get to skip that. So that's a big advantage. They get to skip the Canadian high school system. Okay, the other advantage is once you study here in Canada, you get your credential, you get whether it's your diploma, your degree. Once you study here, you have a Canadian credential. Guess what? Most of the time you're gonna get into an internship. That internship gets you into the Canadian market, gives you the Canadian experience that every employer is always looking for. And that kind of gives you a good footing. It gives you a good footing and an easy entry into corporate Canada. So you're going to find that these people who study here, they have an easier time navigating and entering the Canadian workforce, and they actually don't struggle. They do not struggle as other immigrants who come here as adults who, you know, who are coming from a different working culture. Because this is the only working culture they know, it's very easy for them even to progress at the workplace. Okay, so I always find that is a big advantage. The other advantage is they come here, they are young, maybe they graduate when they are 25. And people who have graduated in this country when they are 25, there's a lot of immigration programs for them. So the country does have a lot of attractive immigration programs. And guess what? If they want to access these immigration programs and they settle here as permanent residents, before long, they're already permanent residents and then they become Canadian citizens, hopefully, and they can invite, they can sponsor their parents back home, so they are able to bring their families later. Okay, and also you're going to find that life in Canada actually does favor young people, so it's easy for them to get into programs that enable financial stability when they are still young. They're not coming to struggle here like adults like us who come here when you're already an adult. They are not going to be facing the same kind of struggles that other immigrants do face. Okay, all right, those are the advantages. I also want to say that when you send your child abroad, and I believe it's every country, but when you send them, it's good to know that it's usually a swim or a sink situation. So you need to be prepared before you come. You need to be prepared before your child comes here. You guys need to sit down and talk a lot and plan and, look at the big picture, because you want to make sure that they are not sinking. I tell people, make sure that you hit the ground running. You do not want them to sink, because once they sink, they drown, they get lost in the system. It's very easy to get lost in the system here. Okay? It is very, very, very easy, and you're going to find that all the youth do struggle. If they do not have any friends, or even if they don't have family or friends, they do struggle. Even those ones who have family and friends, moving is not easy, so they're going to struggle a little bit. But those ones without any family or friends, they do struggle quite a bit with loneliness, homesickness. Some of them may end up with bad peer influence. So you want to make sure that they're not getting into bad company, because once you get into bad company, then they get into bad habits. And those bad habits, they make sure that they make these kids not complete their studies. Okay? Yes, I have seen that happen, whereby they don't complete their studies, which is quite unfortunate, and other things, other bad things happen. Other things that I have seen youth really struggle with here is, of course, culture shock. That is a gift, that is common. Everybody is going to struggle with culture shock, because it's a new culture, it's a new place. Come on, right? And the other thing is, I know a lot of kids who are sent here by parents. Of course, maybe they've never driven back home. You're going to find that, they're used to parents who take care of them. And now all of a sudden, they're going to need to mature in 10 minutes. So they're going to need to move from 18 to 30 in 30 days. Yes, they have to mature. They have to become independent. You grow very fast once you find yourself abroad. Okay? Then lack of familiarity, which is common. Again, you left home, you're in a foreign place, so you're going to need to learn to navigate the system pretty fast, very, very, very fast. You need to learn to navigate things very, very fast. Okay? The other challenge they face is having to study and work at the same time. Believe it or not, a lot of Canadian kids work through high school. Like almost every child in high school has a part-time job whereby they work over the weekend. So they are used to being in a workplace. They're used to they're used to working and balancing studies and work. And now when they go to university, it's usually not hard for them. But people coming from where I come from, whereby we only work after we graduate, that can be quite a challenge. It can be quite a challenge, but that is something that they need to also learn very fast once they land here. Okay? The other one is, unfortunately, this is not for the parents, this is for the youth, is you're going to find, of course, they are 18, they are 19, they want to come, they want to have some fun over the weekend. You cannot go to a club until you're 21. So that is a big challenge for youth. Okay? Yes. The other one, and this is a major, and I like talking about this, especially with parents, so that they know what their responsibility is that kids do get disengaged. Yes, you've come here at 18, you're just starting life, you are just getting ready to start life, and now you find yourself in a new place and you have to find roots in this new country, in a new community, in a new culture. So there's going to be a big disconnect. There is going to be a disconnect between their friends over time. Over time, there's going to be that disconnect. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. I've seen it across all cultures. Yes, it's not just Kenyan kids, it's everybody, because they have now to come and find their life here. So you cannot expect them to be updated with what is happening. They are calling everybody, all that. They do not do that. So there's going to be a disconnect. Okay? The worst that can happen is when they fall through the cracks. Unfortunately, majority do sail through, but as I said, it's swim or sink situation. A lot of them swim and they prosper and they're successful. Unfortunately, because life is just the way it is, not everybody is strong enough. Some of them do sink, and when they sink, they fall through the cracks. Marijuana is legal in this country. Yes, it's sold in stores out there in the open. There's access to drugs, there's access to alcohol. So these things require that your youth has a good foundation. So before you send your youth to be abroad on their own, please ensure that they have a good foundation, that they can be strong, they can be strong-willed, so that they do not fall into these cracks. Okay? Right. I don't want to say a lot of bad things. I tell people, everything has good and bad things. So I say the good and I say the bad, and I tell you how to avoid the bad. And this is how you can avoid your youth sinking. Okay? One of the things you can do is find a support system. Yes, even when you're in Kenya or when they land here, get a support system. Connect with people of your heritage, a church, something, faith, people of the same faith. Get yourself a church or a mosque, whatever your religion is. Get people who think or have something that you can connect with. So get a support system, okay? The other thing that you can do is, as a parent, if you're going to send your kid here and you don't know anybody, you can explore homestays. Yes, we have families here in Canada who participate in hosting international students. Look for those, because those families, they have been vetted and they do that genuinely. Most of them, they do that genuinely, and they want to help, and those families do become like their second family. So that is something that you can always look for, okay? Always make sure you use vetted homestays so that you're not sending your kids to predators. Okay? All right. The other one is counseling. Pre-arrival and post-arrival counseling. Counsel your youth. Get them counseling sessions. Ensure that they are doing this so that they know what they're going to expect. Okay? They need to be prepared when coming, and when they arrive here, they need to be counseled just to check on how they're doing, their welfare and stuff like that. The most important one is you as a parent keeping in touch, or family or guardian, keep in touch with your youth. Don't just send them and say, oh yeah, they went abroad. Yeah, it is hard. I told you it's hard. They're young. They're young. You don't want them to get lost. You are making a big sacrifice sending them here, and you want them to succeed. So please keep in touch. Please, I cannot overemphasize this. Keep in touch. Call them with no expectations, especially family and friends. If someone comes abroad, please call them, check on them. It's hard. Just check how they're dealing with winter, with everything, with zero expectation. Because believe you me, they're not going to get a job tomorrow. They're not going to get money to send back to you. So send them, check on them genuinely. Listen to them, walk with them, just let them tell you their challenges. It's really important that they tell you what they are going through, because then that way they are able to relieve that burden. Okay? Yes, the most important, I think I lied. This is the most important, and I want every parent to listen to this. Finances. Finances is going to be a deal breaker for an international student if you're not careful. I tell people, send your kids with at least 1 year of school fees, right? Simply because you don't want to put them into a lot of pressure. They are new, they are dealing with winter. A lot of school starts in September, so October, November is going to be very cold. They cannot find work immediately. They don't even know where their dorm is. Come on, right? So make sure that you send your kids, if possible, send them with at least 1 year of school fees. Then they are not stressed. They are not under pressure. They are not worried about where their school fees is going to come from for the next semester. They are not skipping semesters, right? So now they have time to look for work, and now they can study in peace, okay? Because let me tell you, without funds, without money, a lot of youths can get into very, very, very bad situations. Believe you know that. People can get into very bad situations when they don't have finances, because all they want is to make ends meet. And some of them, they are ashamed. They feel like they are failing. Like they're not meeting the standards. The standards put by the parents and the people who sent them here, and it can be depressing. Do not send your kids into depression. Don't put them into bad situations. Always call people. Reduce your expectations. When you're over there, please reduce your expectations. Know that these people, they are human. They can go through challenges, through struggles. Hold their hands if you can. Help them out if you can. Because if you help them, then you're going to set them up for success. Please do not set your child for failure. Okay? Yes, I have seen kids who are sent with a lot of high hopes and high expectations and demands and all that. And they come here and they struggle and they hide. They fall out of school. And guess what? They're going to send you a picture that they graduated and they didn't graduate. Okay? So don't put your kids through something like that. Be a good parent. Be a supportive parent. Be a supportive friend of someone who has come here when they are young, because they are quite vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable. Okay? Let's take care of our youth. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're going to stay safe. Wash your hands. Social distance. Take care. See you next time.